Okay, this spices things up. So in yesterday's video, I talked about the Eurogamer interview with Junichi Masuda talking about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, but it looks like I missed a pretty big point of information because there was actually a part about Master Trainers where Junichi Masuda seems to confirm that you need that species of Pokemon to challenge that Master Trainer. Now, I want to have a really big discussion about this in a second, but the reason why I skipped over it is because we already knew about Master Trainers from the day before, because there's been a lot of weird information drops. So Junichi Masuda, it seems like weeks ago, and then the embargo finally lifted just yesterday or a few days ago, so it seems like weeks ago, Junichi Masuda was going out having interviews about Let's Go, so now we're getting all this huge new information, but it's from news outlets and not directly from the Pokemon Company. Also, we got this trailer, or like, yeah, we just got, like, there's no new information, there's no game, but there is new gameplay. And it was from the Nintendo UK YouTube channel, which was also kind of weird, and nothing from the Pokemon Company. So it's been like a month since we got the last trailer from the official Pokemon Company giving us new gameplay, updating the Pokemon website and stuff like that. So this is just like a really fun and awesome trailer. The music's amazing, showing us everything that we had about Let's Go. And then alongside that, we have all these interviews that are actually giving us new information, like the existence of Master Trainers. Now, Junichi Masuda, in these interviews, didn't seem to mention that you need that species of Pokemon, just kind of talking about, hey, there's going to be a big challenge in the game because of it. A good portion of the more difficult stuff is in the post-game. So Junichi Masuda is also trying to get the information out there that no, this game is not for kids, it's for every Pokemon fan, like I've been saying from when the game came out. That's Junichi Masuda. Junichi Masuda saying like I've been saying, not me, because people will nitpick over that saying I'm gatekeeping, but I digress. Either way, so yeah, there's ways to strengthen your Pokemon, and the reason you want to do that is to take on these Master Trainers, these really powerful trainers that you encounter after the main story. This doesn't even talk about the species of Pokemon, and then with Vandal, a Spanish website, you have to go and translate it. When you finish the game, there's a difficult master training where basically the original 151 have their own master trainer that you can face. You can challenge Master Trainer of Squirtle, you get the title of Master Trainer of Squirtle. Doing this 151 times is certainly a challenge. But then with the Eurogamer interview, it sounds like you need to use that species of Pokemon. So, much more of a challenge, but it also makes a lot more sense. Because if I roll up into Squirtle Master Trainer, and I just bring a level 100 Pikachu, especially if it's like my overpowered starter Pikachu, am I really a Squirtle Master? Like, in theory, it seems like you could do it as a collection kind of idea. Like, oh, I beat the Squirtle Master, oh, I beat that, and then you have all these titles. But if you actually want to feel like that Master, you gotta do it in Mirror Match. You gotta go 1v1, no items, no abilities, wait, either way. Let's go see what Junichi Masuda has to say. So, you know, to those kinds of fans, we've mentioned the catch combo. Oh, actually, we also have all this. So what do you say to players who are crying out for a bit more of a challenge? Maybe adult players who've been playing for 20 years or who got in a bit later. Should they wait for the next RPG instead? So he brings up like these multiple things. You know, we'd mentioned the catch combo mechanic where you catch the same Pokemon multiple times in a row, get various rewards and benefits like that. So I'm guessing more candy, higher shiny chance, maybe better IV chance. I'm wondering if they're reworking IVs because no breeding. How are you going to get really strong, perfect Pokemon, and what's that going to mean for competitive? Because at the end of this interview, Junichi Masuda, he even says, like, man, it makes me sad to think that people just spend their entire game breeding, which probably just offended, well, not just, but, you know, really offended a lot of breeders and people that's why they play Pokemon. They like, and also that's like being a Pokemon breeder is in the anime, it's a trainer class, it's a major part of the game, so Junichi Masuda going against that, I can understand why people are legitimately upset over that, because it's been needed to be tweaked for a while, because in, you know, 6th generation, with the introduction of Destiny Knot, breeding became insanely easy to make competitive Pokemon, but people still cheated. The game got even easier to get competitive Pokemon in 7th generation, more people cheated as a response, so I think Junichi Masuda, he's trying to redo that, but instead of getting mad at the cheaters, he got mad at the legitimate players, and legitimate players aren't happy, and that's been a problem that we've had for years now. So, and also post-game content as well, in particular, Master Trainers. So these are trainers who are kind of the ultimate trainers of a specific Pokemon. You will challenge them. So you will challenge them, get their title for that Pokemon, become master of that Pokemon if you manage to beat them in battle. So for me, my favorite Pokemon is Psyduck. So I'd be training my Psyduck amazingly, and then we challenge the Psyduck Master. gain the Psyduck Master title, and that's something you can put effort and a lot of time into. I really want to create the challenge for myself. These Master Trainers exist for all 151 Pokemon in the game, so if you want to collect all the titles, that's something you can really challenge yourself with. And the way it says, like, oh, if I want to be the Psyduck Master, I have to use Psyduck. This isn't information that we really had before, and the reason why I skipped over it is because we already had that. So I just saw Master Trainers, didn't want to repeat myself, and then make the video, 20 minutes long when there's other things to talk about, such as Meltan, the data mine, like the leak, actually being intentional, and then putting it out early so people could speculate. I thought that was actually really interesting. I wanted to talk about that more, but then this is actually the big stuff, because people are hyped about Master Trainers. This is finally something that shows this is not a kid's game. This is something that, you really can't deny, since a lot of people, they've been trying to put these games down for no reason. So now, what are your thoughts about this? Because like I said earlier, it makes more sense for the title, and it makes the title more exclusive, and also makes it a complete meme in an amazing way. Like, dude, Metapod. Just the Hardened Fest. Oh, that's going to be just like winning through a PP stall or something. And I wonder like how cheaty it can get, because technically just use like tons of potions and tons of like healing and recovery items, and then eventually you can win the Master title. But I want to know how some of those matchups are going to go. And there's some Pokemon that are just weak to each other. So you just have to have like the faster Pokemon, and then you two-shot them. So let's just say like Rhydon, because Rhydon has the Stab Earthquake against the Stab Earthquake, or Pokemon that naturally have a moveset that have high amounts of coverage for super effective hits. Alakazam into the Shadow Ball, double Shadow Ball, Alakazam, GG. There's going to be other Pokemon like Water types and Electric types. They don't really coverage out against each other well, so it's just going to be like a neutral fest. Some other ones like Gyarados is probably just going to be like you use 2 Dragon Dance, and then whatever the opponent did means nothing, and then you sweep the rest of his team. Because another thing, it looks like that they're going to have multiple Pokemon. Just kind of like going from all the information we have, I don't think it's just going to be like one level 70 and then you're a master. I hope that it's actually like a crazy challenge. If it isn't challenging enough, the cool thing about Nintendo Switch is all the games are getting patched. Like, I never imagined Mario Odyssey to get updates, but they get game updates. So maybe introducing more difficulty if it's too early on launch and doing a balance change like that, because this isn't supposed to be the easy thing. This is supposed to be a thing that you grind and you get hard, and that gets harder. And I like that, because then Junichi Masuda adds all these other things. The catch combo mechanic. So use that to get stronger Pokemon. Maybe higher levels, maybe more candies to get them stronger, maybe better IVs, stuff like that. Then he also says, there's ways to strengthen your Pokemon. So the candy system, hopefully, tutors and some other things that are going to happen. So you take use of that, you get a competitive Pokemon, and then you use that to take on Master Trainers. So I like that idea. And I want to know how hard and crazy it's going to get, because the difficulty in Pokemon isn't really the story. And I think people lose sight of that very easily. Difficulty is going to be going up against other real players who can be very skilled at the game, or having an even match with level 50s in like a battle tower or battle tree or something that cheats. So with that, we're going to see that diversity. I'm wondering what that's going to do if it scales up, like a level 80 battle tower, but you actually have to, you can use level 100, but that's not going to be too much of a power gap, but also the amount of time that it takes to train. So if you get a full competitive level 75 Pokemon, you might be able to cut some corners and then get that master title. And other worthy titles are going to be really cool. You see someone that has like a Magikarp master. That dude got that Magikarp up to like level 90. Just to flail its way to victory, and I can respect that. The Mewtwo Master, the Mew Master, like all 151 Pokemon. When I first read that, I'm like, wait, is this like some kind of translation error? Or is this like maybe an interpretation from Junichi Masuda? But no, he's like directly saying it, like all of 151. So there's a Mew Master out there, there's a Mewtwo Master out there. You're gonna have to get your legendary Pokemon in pristine fighting condition. I don't know how you're gonna be able to tweak their IVs, because they're the one-time static encounters. But everything else is going to be cool. So yeah, tell me what you guys think. Do you think that this is the way that it needed to be? I think it makes more sense for being a master. But if you want to be a Pokemon master, then technically you could just like take any Pokemon and then beat up on any other Pokemon. However, it does make it really too easy to cheese. Just bring 6 electric types, clear out all the water types, clear out all the flying types, rinse, repeat, and then there's going to be a lot less training involved. So I think this is just going to be like absurd amounts of grinding, still has a good reward behind it, and we're going to see if people fall for it. Because technically, if no one's playing the game, then being a master of nothing doesn't really entice people to go hard into the game. But if this, again, turns out to be an incredible game, I am confident it is going to outsell Super Smash Bros. I am confident that once holiday season rolls around, people are going to cave and get these games because they're just going to be like, wow, everyone's loving Pokemon, let's go. There is a thriving competitive scene because that's really the only reason why you buy Pokemon. You don't buy, like, you buy for the story, sure, and then you can have, like, a great Pokemon adventure. I'm not saying that Pokemon Let's Go isn't going to have that. Watching the trailers, everything about this is going to be amazing. The story, the gameplay, but all of the replayability comes in that post game where then you spend hundreds of hours breeding and then thousands of hours battling people on the battle spot or just going online matchups. Like, that's what I did for Generation 3, Generation 4, Generation 5. We got Battle Spot in the PSS in Generation 6, less so in Generation 7 because it was just so clunky and bad, and also there were like fewer players. It was weird. A year after Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire came out, I was still able to find battles on the battle spot more regularly than we did with Sun and Moon. Too much hacking, too much unbalanced stuff. So now it looks like there's going to be a much better chance at a healthier community. There's going to be a lot more sense of community because the way you have to pair up the battles. No battle spots. So you have to interact with people. You got to find those battles, and then everyone's just going to have a great time together. And then going off of the other ones, you know, Let's Go Co-op is fun. A lot of the other interviews and gameplay, I think IGN, they did a video. They're like, oh, we recently got our hands on demo, and it's just a non-stressful Pokemon experience, but then the stress comes in the post-game, so you get your 30 hours out of the way, and then the other 3, 4, 5, 999 hours, that's just going to be about becoming a master of either a specific Pokemon. And I wonder what that means for, like, a potential online hub, potential way of showing this off to your friends and showing this off to other people. So that's pretty cool as well. So then that scales into the ultra post game and ultra late game, and then you get to have some fun. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.